Apple Music top 500 most streamed songs of all time. Now, Apple Music recently released a list of their most streamed top 500 singles, and we just want to see what those songs are. Now, we're not going through the entire list. We only going through the top 10, and if you want, family, we can find this list and go through some more. Let's start with this top 10, okay? Now, we have it already pulled up, as you can see on the screen. Let's start at number 10. We have Billie Eilish, Bad Guy. Now, family, I want you to give me a mental count of how many of these songs you've actually heard. I'm going to be honest, Billie Eilish, Bad Guy don't ring a bell. I'm sorry. It do not ring a bell. It do not ring a bell. I don't know that one. Okay? Chris Brown, No Goddess. You got it, girl. You got it. Like, you already know. We know what's going on there. Ed Sheeran, Perfect. I don't know Perfect. I do not know Perfect at all. All right, so I'm down 2 out of the 3 right now. All right. Travis Scott, Sicko Mode, of course. Come on. Drake, One Dance, a bop. Let's stop playing, okay? Post Malone, Rockstar. Na 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 na, and I'm feeling like a rock star. Like I'm rolling. Post Malone and Sway Lee, Sunflower, Fire Song. Fire Song, love it. Drake's God's Plan. Course, I know that one. Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. Now, it's so high. I mean, it's literally number 2. I know the song, but I don't know it by name. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not big on pop and R&B. I'm just not that guy. All right. Ed Sheeran, Shape of You. I do know this song, and I'm gonna tell you why. This song is, no matter how much you don't listen to music, you cannot get away from Shape of You. I used to work at T-Mobile way back in the day, and we used to have these speakers, and when the speaker would come on and like somebody wanted to hear the speaker, Ed Sheeran's Shape of You would come on. Like, the boy got motion, okay? So what do these top 10 songs from Apple Music tell us? Now, first of all, you got to remember, this is not Billboard, okay? This is Apple Music. When did Apple Music release? When was Apple Music created? June 30th, 2015. Apple Music has been released just over 10 years. Out of the top 10 acts, we're seeing 3 or 4 of the same acts multiple times. You got Post Malone here twice. You got Drake here, what? Once, 2, 3, 4 times. You got Drake literally on the list 4 times. You got Ed Sheeran on here twice. All right. Now, one thing I always ask you, family, is who is going to be the next leader in music? This list gives us a good, diameter of some of the people who have consistently ran it for the last 10 years. But who will be taking over the ranks in hip hop? Drake is almost 40. Kendrick is almost 40. Travis is, Travis is not the hip hop artist that we're speaking about right now. Who is gonna save hip hop is my question. Don't get me wrong, we got dope artists still out. You got dope artists who are, you got your Playboi Cartis who create their own sounds. You got your Ken Carsons. I don't know if Ken Carson gonna be here in a few years. I'm just being honest. But your Playboi Cartis, who else? Young artists who we can see taking hip hop to the next level. You got Cordae. Now, here's the thing with Cordae. Amazing rapper. But do I think Cordae is going to be the head of hip hop? I do not. Not at this current moment, because he hasn't shown me he has that true hit making ability. His staying power is not that impactful. Of course, he's here, but we know him a lot from his girl, Naomi, the tennis player, and ex-girl. They used to be together. They're not together anymore. So, who are some artists under 25 years old who can take hip hop to the next level? That is a real question. Family, if you know, let me know. All right. What else can we say about this list? I'll say this about this list as well. This list is not indicative. This list is not truly indicative of maybe some of the biggest songs of the last 10 years. Now, what do I mean by that? An artist like Drake, for example. We see Drake on this list a few times. Drake is an artist who has had deals with Apple. So seeing Drake's name pop up multiple times also speaks to the relationship he's had with Apple Music. For example, Drake's album Views from the Six. Now that's a throwback. You know, initially the album was called Views from the Six, and he's just showing it up to views. Anyway, Drake's album Views from the Six will be exclusively available on Apple Music for 1 week following its April 29th release. After that, it will be made available on other outlets and for sale. Family, I'm going to be so honest with you. I got Apple Music because of this album. That's a fact. The Views album is the reason I became a Apple Music subscriber. What happened was this. I had to hear it. You got to remember, this is coming off the Battle as well. The marketing for this album was immaculate with Apple. I was planning on only using the 2 week, or I think it's like 2 weeks free trial, and then getting off of it. Family, I've had Apple Music now 10 years. All right. So, whenever this album released, 9 years, because this album released in 2016. So I say that to say this. This list does also speak to relationships artists have with some of these platforms. I'm sure Ed Sheeran has given, now, the other part to what I was saying, these are still huge songs. God's Plan is literally Drake's biggest song. One Dance, one of Drake's biggest songs. I don't even know if One Dance or God's Plan is the biggest. They're both like that. I think One Dance may be his biggest pop song. God's Plan is his biggest rap song. Yes, you got Billie Eilish, who just kind of snuck in there. You got Chris Brown, who definitely snuck in there and had assistance from Drake. Let's not forget that part. Okay? But other than that, we saying the same artist multiple times. Let's look at artists with the most songs. Again, right here. Artists with the most songs on the Apple Music's top 500 most streamed songs of all time. Family, by the way, this is on my page. Make sure you like and subscribe. We always uploading the latest and greatest in hip hop. Now, Drake has 38 songs on this list. Okay, you got Lil Baby sitting at 20, Taylor Swift at 14, Post Malone 13, Rihanna 13, Justin Bieber 13. Bruno Mars 12, Travis 12, Ed Sheeran 11, Future, okay, 11. I don't know who this white boy is. Who is this white guy? Who is this white guy? I do not know who he is. I know he a country singer. This is my dude, Bad Bunny. All right, he got 10. J. Cole 10. The Weeknd 10. Who is this? Who is this black woman right here? That's not SZA. Who is this? I don't know who that is. And you got Billie Eilish with 10. Okay. Now again, family, this is the Apple Music top 500 most streamed songs. This isn't Billboard. It's almost, in my opinion, when we're speaking about a list like this, it's a step above Spotify, just because I don't really take Spotify as seriously as I take Apple Music. So, you know, you can take a list like this with a grain of salt at the same time, but it is very interesting to see, you know, what songs are the most streamed on Apple Music's platform, a platform that I use when I'm, you know, streaming music, for sure. Family, what y'all use? Do y'all use Spotify? Do y'all use Apple Music? What streaming service y'all use? I'm an Apple Music guy. My brother Donnie. You the man. You the man. You already know I appreciate you pulling up. Twin Ski. Boy, I hope you had a good 4th of July weekend. You know, nothing like 4 extra. That nigga ain't got no extras left, okay? No extras. No, he just 4 now. You know what I mean? He missing a finger. He literally is just 4. That's it. I'm telling you, twin. I appreciate you pulling up. By the way, family, this was what in the hellion kind of news right here. Lil TJ, I meant to speak about this a minute ago. Lil